Hi, it's Elias, and this is my first video on the Journey project channel. I thought about doing this kind of channel because I think I have a lot on my mind, and I feel like it'd be cool to just speak to the camera and yeah, see where it goes. This channel, I think it's like getting shit off my chest, and also, talking about different um, topics and things that are on my mind. So yeah. Um, And yeah, so I'm 21 and it kind of feels like I'm starting over already. And that's a good thing, really. So my situation is basically that I live alone. And I've lived here for 3 years and 3 months since I was 18, actually. Just like the day after I turned 18, I moved here. So a little backstory. So what led to this kind of situation is that I was 15 when I learned that I would move abroad with my family. And yeah, I was finishing my school. I think it's called middle school in Finland, or in English, I guess. But and yeah, we moved abroad, and I was getting like the grade nine. I was 15. I was getting like anxiety, and I didn't know what it was at all. So it was kind of confusing, and we moved abroad, of course, because I was full of anxiety. I didn't know how to navigate it, so I just completely shut down. And getting friends was kind of hard. And yeah, so it just kind of left me feeling a bit isolated. I mean, quarantine I liked because I could just spend the time alone, and yeah, I just felt like I kind of didn't belong. And well, I got some control over the anxiety, and things got a bit more stable. I got one friend in another school that I went to, so that's a good thing. But I just kind of had this feeling like I'm 17. I mean, I wasn't. That's not like doesn't have to be your prime, but that's what I thought. Like I wasn't doing all this cool teen shit. So I just was kind of daydreaming about doing things and wanting to have fun. And my friends were in Finland, of course, so saw them like once a year at that point. And so I was 17 and I got this idea and had this opportunity to move back to Finland on my own, and I did that. And well, it was a really good choice, but for a while I thought it was a bad choice. What happened because of it, but I moved here when I was 18, and I started a new school, and I got my friends back, and that's a great thing, right? Yeah, but I could legally buy alcohol for the first time, and that's where a lot of my problems kind of unraveled because I think I had something inside me, and I wanted to. Well, I felt like there was a lack of fun, that I wasn't having a lot of fun. So this is the perfect opportunity because well, there were no rules because I was now creating them suddenly, and yeah, it's a lot of partying, and not really taking care of myself or really like thinking about my future or well-being or even my school. I was doing school, but definitely could have done more at a faster pace. I mean, so for months, years, I was just kind of alone. Not alone. I had friends, but like I was hitting the nightclubs and I was partying alone, and kind of lost myself in that. And that's why that's what we're getting to. Fast forward like 2 years, and when I was 20, uh, it kind of reached a breaking point. And I kind of started to feel old, which is stupid because I'm super young and I feel young right now. But I just kind of started to feel like a bitter old man on the inside. I was just drinking beer and sitting on the couch, and it wasn't really fun. So and my life became pretty unmanageable, and I just kind of accepted it, and that's the problem. Is I wasn't really having a good relationship with myself, and when you don't have a good relationship with yourself, I mean, I kind of I tried to change things up, when I was 20, and yeah, it didn't really work out because I was still had self hatred and shit like that. And when you have shit like that, I mean, it's hard to come out of your shell because I was feeling so negative because I just didn't like myself. So, and I believe I'm a good person on the inside because I mean, I am, but I didn't feel like that or doubted myself. I felt like a weirdo or like I looked like a weirdo or whatever because I was in paranoia constantly and just thinking about random, like stupid shit. Doesn't really matter. So, yeah, and I was at this job practice thing, and it just didn't work out. No, I didn't graduate because of that, but I'm working on it now. But anyway, I was 20, almost. Well, I turned 21 when I went to military last summer, and that changed me a bit for sure because I got routine and I had to do things. But I was in a bad place in my head, like really just tried to do everything. I had to be social constantly because I was living with other people. Um, but it got really bad in my mind, in my head, and I made the decision to leave military because it was just got pretty fucking bad. All right, so it's just familiar territory, in your head, and you're just like, being here, this isn't good. It's not gonna lead anywhere good. So I pulled the plug and came home. But I still have, I think it's civilian service in English. It's alternate to military. Or I mean, I don't want to go to prison. I mean, I have nothing to protest against. I think, and I mean, you can get freed from it, but I don't know. I mean, I have mental health issues, but I can do it. It's just you go work for free though for 1 year, but for my case, it's 9 months. But it's fine anyway. I'm going off track. So I came home and it's been amazing. I mean, I've been here for 5 weeks and I've actually progressed more than I did in like many years. I mean, for many years I just got dumber and more stupid. And now I'm actually getting the control of it. And I thought I was lost cause basically. I thought I had no hope. Like I was never gonna change, or I was only gonna get worse and worse. But and the thing that I did, and I really recommend anyone, like whatever your problem is, all right, just this is actually working for me, and I think it works for other people because I've seen it, like heard stories and shit. It's like manifesting almost. Like it's just I kind of took a deep dive into myself, and I was like, who am I? Like what do I want out of myself? What's the real me? Because I was kind of having like these negative thoughts, and I was carrying that like fear and negativity was driving me. So I just kind of kicked it over and let it hang. Like I just let it hang now. So I started to, because I have pretty bad social anxiety, but it became more of a confidence problem at some point, and I just you know hold on, I have a blackout. Fuck. And anyway, so I just when I have now when I have or first now too, but getting to the start of it. So whenever I had like negative thoughts about myself when I was outside, I was just approaching it with like, or I told myself it's fine. Like these are just thoughts; they're not necessarily real. And I also kind of just approached them with positivity, like yeah, it's fine. Like it's fine. You feel this way. And I realized when I started to treat myself better, I felt less anxious and less negative about things, and I started to feel good about things I was doing because I succeeded, and it's something that in the past I've been able to do for hours at a time, but it's something that just stuck, and it hasn't left. It's been getting better. I mean, there's some slip ups, but there are bad days and good days. So yeah, uh, I mean, you know, it's just positivity, and it really shows because I see myself differently. Because I see myself differently, I see my life differently, and how I see other things too. Like I feel like I'm able to be myself a lot more, and I feel a lot less uh, anxiety. And have more confidence in its place. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm just excited, and that's amazing. Cause, and I'm not even afraid of like drinking. I do drink, but I have such stability. I don't really seek out drinking outside of like drinking with friends, and drinking alone isn't really my thing anymore. So it seems really good. It seems really fucking good. So I do recommend it. I was thinking about meditating, but this works. This works really well. And yeah, that's it. That kind of wraps it up basically. And this channel, I don't know. I think, like I said, maybe like talking about different topics, maybe pulling from my own experiences and kind of talking about something. Yeah, just like I want to talk about myself, and I also want to talk about other people, like how I perceive things. And if you relate, then comment down your experience below, and maybe subscribe. Like, I would love to read some stuff. And yeah, I'll be back sometime. So yeah, see you next time. All right.